Hello, and welcome to Shortcut Up CNC. Today we're going to talk about the DXF batch processor gadget that Vectric has within their software for VCar Pro and Aspire. So we're going to go to that gadget. I go through all my gadgets here. And there it is there. That's the original Vectric DXF batch processor. Going to turn off the process subdirectories. We're going to turn off that, which is a create log file. It creates it in the folder, the DXF file folder here. It'll create a text file. Here we have the layout, and this layout was great for prior to the new sheet management that was incorporated since 11 or 11.5 versions of the software, both VCar Pro and Aspire. So this laid it out in rows and so many inches from the X apart from each other and so many inches on the Y axis. And then if you didn't have a job set up, which is evident here, we do not have one. And this will give you the capability of creating a job for those DXF files. In this particular instance, I believe it's 96 by 48 for the DXF files. And the origin for those was the XY drawing origin. And I set those up with the Z at the surface. That's evident. We don't have a job, so it's going to create the default. And here you see it creates the one sheet and everything, all six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DXF files on that one sheet. Now, back when, before 11 or 11.5, you had to copy and paste, add a new sheet, copy and paste, add a new sheet, copy and paste. Now, we're going to close this and I'll show you the Vectric Gadget that I modified to incorporate the new sheet management. We're going to use that same DXF files, and we're going to leave the sheet information as is and all this other information. And you notice the layout is no longer here. We've added a little color to the gadget. We say okay to that, and of course we have no job, so it'll create a default job. And here you see the progress being made, but just watching that little progress bar down here, it bounces back and forth. It created 6 files. And it also, if you notice, it created 6 individuals, well, actually 7 sheets. I'm looking to get rid of that 7th sheet in an upper version. But right now, as it stands, it creates an extra sheet. So what you do is you go over here and you say sheet 7 delete, and it's gone. Now you got your vectors all laid out on sheets. You didn't have to do anything manually to do it. You just used the gadget. And the gadget's very handy. In fact, let's close this and I'll show you what I mean by handy. All right, we're going to open that's okay. I wanted that file A. Give me that again. Let's look at one of these individual sheets that's in a directory. Okay, there you see it's on a 48 by 48.5 inch thickness. Inches, top surface. All this you got to kind of remember how you set up those DXF files, because if you don't, you'll end up with some crazy looking stuff. So you need to remember how you set up the original DXF files and use the same method when you go to use the new gadget, or I should say modified gadget. So we're going to use the DXFA files again, and we're going to change this 96 to 48 because that's what it was, and it was in inches. It was the lower left corner for the XY origin. Well, actually, that's a datum. We can change that word to datum, match the program or software. Let's see, Z origin. Yeah, origin would be good there, but not. This is a datum. That's a datum location. So we say okay to. Also, I'm looking into in the next version of this in the upgrade is anytime you bring in a directory, it automatically pops up here and says how many files are in that directory. I would like to see how many files beforehand that I'm going to be processing. Because if you got 50 files, you're going to be sitting there a little while. And you don't remember that 50 files, like I said, you'll be sitting there a while for it processing. Of course, you can always go Control Alt Delete and end the task, but I wouldn't advise that. So let's say OK to this, and we'll say OK to that little button too. And you'll notice that we got 3 files processed. See that number, I want to have that same number beforehand. And there they are laid out the same way they were created. And it's on 4 individual sheets. It's not laid out on one sheet. In fact, let's double click on that. You'll see there's a sheet, and we got a sheet there, and we got a sheet there. And we also, okay, we got an extra sheet. And of course, I'm in another version. I'm gonna see about getting rid of that extra sheet so that you don't have to do this. There we go. Now we're off and running. We could add toolpaths to it and go. So there is a nice little upgrade to the original DXF processor by Vectric. Thank you for watching Shark Cut Up CNC.